Tonight, should our police be armed? Frontline officers are calling for access to guns in their vehicles as part of an overhaul of the force to deal with rising violence. Also making the headlines, women's rights activists warn that girls and women travelling from Scotland to Gambia could be at risk if a ban on female genital mutilation is lifted there. In sport, more twists in a tantalising title race. Rangers and Celtic both win as Hearts' lead is cut to 2 points.
So do you have any good jokes for me?
Just me, I'm a big joke.
And the hunt is on for the funniest pensioner in Glasgow. Is this the winner?
What do you call a magic dog?
I don't know, Christine.
A labracadabra dog.
I'm Kellyanne Woodland. This is the STV News at 6. Good evening. Frontline police officers are demanding access to guns in their vehicles as part of a major overhaul of how the force operates in Scotland. The Scottish Police Federation, which represents the vast majority of officers, says the change is needed to protect staff facing increasing levels of violence. The call is part of the Federation's manifesto for police reform, due to be released later this month ahead of the Holyrood election. Well, our political correspondent Ewan Petrie is here. Ewan, this manifesto, tell us a bit more about what's in it.
Well, the focus of the manifesto is on community policing and safety. This is basically the Federation setting out its stall ahead of that election in May. It says policing is in crisis due to financial pressures and centralisation. So it's demanding an extra 3,000 officers to boost local policing. And it says all officers should be allowed to carry tasers. But the standout demand is undoubtedly this idea that firearms should be kept in all vehicles so that officers out on patrol can access them easily in life-threatening situations. And it points to recent incidents to show why they think this is needed. So unarmed officers chasing a man who shot dead his brother-in-law and stabbed his wife in Skye more than 3 years ago. Another incident more recently where an officer was chased down the street by a man with a chainsaw. So it says there's not enough armed response vehicles at the moment to deal with incidents like that, particularly in remote areas.
We don't have enough police personnel trained in that way, and we're putting police officers at risk as well as members of the public, obviously clearly at risk when we don't have that capability. So allowing the police cars or vans to have safes within them with firearms available for trained officers, that will allow more safety to be quicker, and police officers will be able to deal with matters quicker as well.
And what's the Scottish Government saying about this, Ewan?
Well, the Federation isn't suggesting that all officers should be carrying these weapons themselves, but the Scottish Government says Police Scotland continues to be an unarmed service, and crucially, it says its position on that will not change. It says the service has an appropriate and proportionate armed policing capability, including both conventional weapons and the use of taser. It also says it's providing record funding and that recorded crime is down. But, you know, all this is to put pressure on parties ahead of May's election, and ultimately it will be down to whoever wins in May to make the final call.
All right, Ewan, look, thanks for joining us in the studio. Thank you. Women's rights activists in Scotland say the possible repeal of a ban on female genital mutilation in Gambia is re-traumatising survivors. Under Scottish law, it's illegal for UK citizens to be taken abroad to carry out FGM. But campaigners say reversing the ban in Gambia would increase the risk to girls and women. Rahim Cham reports.
I am one person who has also been through FGM. I was caught when I was a baby.
Mariama Jabata is amongst hundreds of Gambian women living in Scotland who have survived FGM.
Even though I cannot remember my experience, I have witnessed times when 6 or 7 year old girls, my age at the time, have been subject to FGM.
She now runs an organisation in Scotland that advocates against gender-based violence.
Young Scottish children of Gambian descent face the risk of being caught when they go to Gambia on holidays, because even if their parents do not want them to be caught, the grandparents or the extended family may feel entitled or have the authority to cut these girls.
Female genital mutilation involves partial or total removal of the external female genitalia for cultural or religious reasons, often leading to long-term health complications. 73% of Gambian women have undergone this practice. While FGM has been banned in the Gambia since 2015, in July 2024, a contentious bill to repeal it sparked outrage amongst women rights activists.
We are telling them that let them not repeal this law because it has health complications to the women and girls of this country.
The bill was rejected, but it's now up to the Gambian Supreme Court whether to uphold the ban.
If the law is repealed, this could mean the Gambia would be a paradise for people to bring their children and have them cut. There have been several threats where families coming from Scotland, from other parts of the UK, have come to Gambia and families have asked for their daughters to be cut, where in some cases these women had to pack up and leave.
In 2017, researchers at Queen Margaret University led a program to advise the Scottish government on how to support communities who come from FGM practicing countries.
Going through pregnancy in Scotland, if you've had FGM, there are many problems that you can face. So there are different forms of FGM. I won't go into the details here, people can look it up, but all forms leave scarring, which means for the woman the birth can be a bit difficult. Now in Africa there's a lot of really skilled doctors that deal with that, but in Scotland people are not skilled in it. So women didn't have very good experiences in childbirth.
For survivors like Mariama, the future of many Gambian girls is at risk. If the ban on FGM is repealed, it will take away decades of their fight to protect women's rights. Rahim Cham, STV News.
We've already been talking about the upcoming election, and rising prices are at the forefront of voters' minds. Parents across Scotland want politicians to recognise the challenges facing new mothers and improve access to childcare, while 16-year-olds are excited about voting for the first time but worry that politicians aren't listening to them. Lucy Dunn has more.
This fitness class in Cumbernauld allows new mums time to exercise without needing to sort childcare, which in Scotland usually only becomes government funded after a child turns 3. Ahead of the Scottish Parliament election, parents here want politicians to improve access to nurseries and childminders.
If you pay for it, it's accessible, and I think that's the challenge. I feel like in Scotland we've gone backwards in comparison to England.
My daughter that's just under 6 months, she's not due to get childcare, free childcare until she's 3, and I don't work at the moment, so I'm only on one income, so it is quite dear for paid childcare.
When new mums do want to return to work, high nursery costs mean many simply cannot afford to.
Because I'm very driven by my career, I don't want to give that up. I don't want to be a stay-at-home mum, but to an extent I've had to be.
It's ridiculous. I can't afford to be full-time at work because of it. So I'm doing part-time because it's just too expensive in Scotland.
Because the childcare for both of them it's immense, and how it's gone up in the past few years as well. It's making it unaffordable to consider having another child in our family.
This second-hand children's store sells essentials for babies much more cheaply than what you'd get on the high streets. And in recent years, they say demand has gone up dramatically. Rising living costs are forcing families to change their priorities, from foods and clothes shopping to getting the time to better their own lives.
The thing is, you need to be a bit more frugal as well and think, is that something that I actually need, or is it just a want? And inflation's went up tenfold. The price of McDonald's is nearly triple the price of Happy Meal now.
But I'd say challenges are, like, as a solo parent, getting out and about by myself, try to get driving licence, trying to, just improve life.
And it's not just families on the breadline that are seeking out more affordable options.
There's so many working parents that are not entitled to anything, and they kind of get missed under the net. So those are the parents that I think we've seen an increase in. We're an employability project as well, and that's the same parents that we're seeing there. It's parents that are trying to get into work, but it's not beneficial for them to work.
We live in the northeast of Scotland and we've got 7 MSPs.
Modern Studies class is underway at Fraserburgh Academy, but politics will become all too real for these 16 and 17-year-olds who'll get the chance to vote in their first Scottish Parliament election this year.
I think it's a really exciting opportunity to be able to vote for the first time. I do think it's also a bit daunting.
I do plan to vote. I think it's really important to express yourself.
Students are concerned about the lack of information available to young people about the election.
I'm not really bothered by voting and that. It's just, I don't think I'm going to be heard.
I also get my information online, but I think it's really important to be aware of bias.
Sources I know are definitely legit because there's many sources online that could just be telling you a total lie.
Families are looking for more support on the backdrop of a cost of living crisis, so that raising a family is aspirational rather than stress-inducing. Mums want to see feasible pathways back into work. Young people want to see a focus on education and opportunities, and for politicians to show they care about the next generation of Scottish workers. What was obvious from all groups, however, is that it's time for all the parties to step up. Lucy Dunn, STV News.
A young woman was raped after she was followed home as she walked through Glasgow's city centre at night. Mohand Majid followed the student from near the Buchanan Galleries to her home last February. The 26-year-old Syrian refugee, who was staying at a hotel in Glasgow, denied raping the woman but was convicted by a jury at the High Court in Edinburgh. He'll be sentenced next month. A second man has appeared in court charged with the murder of a grandad in Glasgow. Emergency services were called to Dolness Close in Toll Cross last Monday. James Greenhorn died at the scene. Kyle Morrison made no plea to the murder charge. Last week, Sean Murray was also charged with the 61-year-old's murder and made no plea. A prison guard has been arrested and charged following claims she was having an inappropriate relationship with a prisoner at Barlinnie Prison. Police say the 33-year-old has been charged with willful neglect of duty at the prison in Glasgow. The Scottish Prison Service said it would be inappropriate to comment. Now, from helping stroke patients regain their mobility to tackling social isolation, Working Dogs are supporting health and social care units across Scotland. Dogs for Good, that's a charity training specialist community dogs, is now calling for families to give a professional pup a home. Tara Fitzpatrick has more.
1, 2, 3. Agnes suffered a stroke in January at just 62 years old. Since then, she's been putting her best foot forward on the road to recovery, and she's getting help from a furry friend. Marcy, a 3-year-old Labrador, works here at Inverclyde Royal Hospital, helping patients with physiotherapy.
Helped me a lot to on my feet now.
This time you're just going to kick with your right leg. Okay. NHS Greater Glasgow and Clyde is partnered with Dogs for Good, a charity helping those with disabilities, dementia and low mental health to access the world around them through the power of pups.
They just brighten up our patients' day, but actually I'm finding that they motivate our patients. Our patients are now getting up out of bed, ready for the dogs for the day. And the patients are trying to use their hand functionally in functional tasks, and they love it as well. And it's a sensory feedback, so they're feeling the dog, the dog's licking or their dog's petting. It's a sensory impact as well from an upper limb point of view.
What age are you coming next year, 4 or 5? Well done!
But working dogs like Marcy need a home. Dogs for Good are calling on families across Scotland to consider adoption.
I was in the local co-op shop and I saw the poster for Dogs for Good looking for a loving family to provide a home for a dog, and I've always loved dogs, and my daughter was getting a wee bit older and it seemed like the perfect situation to help out the charity and also bring a dog into our lives. You can tell that she enjoys going to work, and I mean it's amazing when Carla comes back and tells me about all the wonderful things that she's been doing at the hospital helping everybody.
I like playing with her ball, and I like taking her to the football pitch to throw her chucket ball, and that's really fun.
We have different volunteering roles with the dogs that we have. So some families, like Marcia's family, have her full time, which is lovely. Other people that we have who volunteer for us, they might have our dogs for a quick overnight stay or for a weekend or for holiday cover.
Whether you think you can offer a forever home or just become a puppy socialiser, Dogs for Good need more volunteers to come forward, meaning people like Agnes can get the support they deserve. Tara Fitzpatrick, STV News.
OK, time to get all your sport now with Rahman, and geez, the title race is fairly hotting up.
Caroline, what a premiership season this has been. Plenty of drama, more drama yesterday. Celtic leaving it very late against Kilmarnock, and at Ibrox, Yusuf Chamiti scored a hat-trick for Rangers as Hearts' lead has been cut again.
STV Sport, sponsored by the C.R. Smith End of Winter Sale.
Good evening. Hat-trick hero Yusuf Chamiti says he can handle the pressure in this dramatic title race as Rangers cut Hearts' lead at the top of the Premiership to just 2 points. Derek McInnes says the Gorgie side are not too despondent following the 4-2 loss at Ibrox yesterday. Meanwhile, Martin O'Neill praised his players' character as Celtic defeated Kilmarnock 3-2 following a second-half comeback. It's a Premiership title race that keeps on giving. At Rugby Park, Celtic came back from 2-0 down to defeat Kilmarnock thanks to a 97th minute winner. And at Ibrox, Rangers twice came from behind to defeat Hearts, with Yusuf Chamiti scoring a hat-trick.
Yeah, we won the race. I think everyone likes a league like this, tight. This is where you see the good players. The pressure's on, but yeah, we are looking for the title. Yeah, that's 100%. We don't have any thoughts against that. Yeah, everyone needs to stay humble. Every game is important for us. Of course, these games we can be more focused, or we're looking for them more serious. But every game is important for us.
The league leader struck in the 16th minute, capitalising on a terrible mistake from Emmanuel Fernandez. Mark Leonard, the scorer. But no sooner had Hearts hit the front than Rangers levelled in a frenetic sequence. Chamiti's effort was saved, Mikey Moore hit the bar before Michael Steinwender put the ball in his own net. Claudio Braga is one of the best players this season, and here's another example why. The striker's superb header restored Hearts' one-goal advantage.
I was happy at the moment. Right now, I would prefer to have the worst game of my life and we get the 3 points, to be honest. It's just frustrating to know that I scored and we could do better as a team and still didn't take the 3 points. But it's just happy when it happened. Really good for me as a player, but right now it means nothing, to be honest.
Just before half-time, Rangers equalised. This the first of 3 goals for Chamiti. The striker's second came early in the second period. His header matched Andres Skovolson's fine cross. Then in the 90th minute, he scored his third and Rangers' fourth.
We developed a lot of resilience since I'm here. We go again and again, even after small setbacks. I like to see this, and I saw also not just character, also on the tactical side, on the football side, was one of the best games since I'm here.
We're not too despondent, we're disappointed clearly because we came here with a lot of expectations on ourselves, but we still feel, although we've lost a fight today, there's still a war to win and we're still well in it.
At Rugby Park, Kilmarnock stunned the champions, going 2 up inside half an hour thanks to goals from Tyrese John-Jules and Joe Hugo. Martin O'Neill didn't like what he was seeing and rung the changes at half-time. Sebastian Tonetke was one of the players to come on and he sparked the comeback. Soon after, Benjamin Negrin levelled. Then, deep into added time, Julian Araujo clinched the 3 points in the most dramatic circumstances. Motherwell boss Jens Berto Askew praised the impact of his substitutes as his team defeated Aberdeen 2-0 yesterday. Elijah Just scored just before half-time to put the Steelmen 1 up at Fir Park. Berto Askew made 5 subs in the second half. Motherwell secured the 3 points thanks to a Tom McIntyre own goal in the 93rd minute.
We also need our subs to come on and make a difference, and they certainly did that today. We really needed that push and that lift towards the end. Otherwise, I don't think we would have stood against it. Because some of the players in there were tired. They've spent a lot of energy just running back and forward, a lot of transitional moments. So big praise for the subs to come on and make a huge difference.
To rugby, and after Scotland's stunning win over England, scrum half Ben White says the team must be ruthless and not take their foot off the gas for the rest of the Six Nations. The superb performance eases the pressure on head coach Gregor Townsend, who says Scotland now have a championship to play for. Here's Jimmy Borthwick.
As they so often have recently, Scotland saved their best for their biggest game. And so the challenge is laid down. Can they reproduce the soaring highs of their 31-20 victory over England against the rest of their Six Nations rivals?
For us, we need to take the confidence from today, but also be on it this week. We can't take the foot off the gas. We have to be ruthless with our preparation and our accuracy, and go there with the confidence from this win, but also the clinicalness that we showed today.
This, a 7th Calcutta Cup in 9 years, was a timely tonic for Gregor Townsend, who found his role under the microscope after defeat in Italy. The coach and his players emphatically answered the critics.
Gregor will take a huge amount of pleasure and pressure off himself as a result of that performance, but he'll know that he needs to now keep delivering on that consistent platform, and fingers crossed that they can do it, because the Scottish rugby public are behind the team when they play well. It's frustrating. Scotland are not going to win every single game that they go out onto an international pitch, but I think what we're looking for is this team deliver performances and consistent performances.
Townsend now admits that a tilt at the championship is back on, but the team must build on the victory by going to Cardiff and winning in Wales.
Us to show our growth next week is to back it up this performance, and you sense when a moment changes a feeling inside a change room, and I can't tell you how happy I am for the group to feel the feeling that I'm feeling now, because I really do feel that is a performance that can change a lot.
The team will prepare with a week in a warm weather camp in Spain, but a fire's been lit in these players that they intend to carry through the rest of the campaign. Jamie Borthwick, STV Sport.
To the Winter Olympics, and there were mixed fortunes for Team GB's curlers. Bruce Moutsrink have it all to do to reach the semi-finals after losing 8-6 to Norway to drop to 5th in the standings.
STV Sport, sponsored by the CR Smith End of Winter Sale.
And that is all the sport for me tonight, Caroline. You know we love a bit of drama in sport. Know that plenty more twists and turns to come in this title race. It's gripping stuff.
Indeed it is, and it keeps you super busy too, Ravan.
Absolutely.
Right, thanks, Ravan. OK, time to get the weather now. And Philip, I'm getting a bit tired of this wintry weather, but you're here to tell us there's more weather warnings in place.
Yes, Kellyanne, another week, another round of wintry weather warnings. We have a couple in effect at the moment, both yellow warnings, so relatively low impacts. But our first is for snow and ice, covering parts of Argyll and Bute across to Fife and northwards. Widely, there's the risk of icy conditions within this warning area, but the snow will likely only affect parts of the Northern Isles, the Highlands, Moray, Aberdeenshire, Lewis and Harris. Our second warning is for ice, covering the central belt southwards, away from the western coast. And they both run until 10 a.m. tomorrow. So let's take a closer look at what's in store over the next couple of days. Here is the forecast.
A breezy morning will be followed up with a flurry of fresh delights for lunch. TUI sponsors STV Weather.
So throughout today, we've continued to see that cold northerly airflow re-establish itself, dragging in that Arctic air, and it's given us some wintry showers. Tomorrow, a ridge of high pressure builds in from the west. That helps to settle our weather down throughout tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. It prevents a lot of these systems that are trying to push in from the Atlantic from moving across the country. Those get swept up and pushed around the south of the UK. Back to just now at the moment. We're holding on to the dry and clear conditions. We will see a fairly widespread frost forming. There is the risk of this band of rain, sleet and snow from pushing a little further southwards, bringing with it some wintry flurries. We'll also see the risk of some icy patches on any untreated surfaces, with temperatures for many places getting below freezing, lows of -3 or -4 degrees Celsius. So looking ahead to tomorrow, a fairly widespread frost to start the day, a cold start for many of us, but thanks to that ridge of high pressure, it will be a decent day. Plenty of dry conditions, plenty of brightness and sunshine sunshine around. It is feeling cold out and about though, with temperatures only reaching highs of around 4 or 5 degrees Celsius. Similar conditions as we look ahead to Wednesday. Another cold and frosty start to the day. We do start to see the winds picking up strength around western coastal parts. Elsewhere though, remaining largely dry. Plenty of brightness around. The only difference is there will be more high level cloud around, so a lot of that sunshine will be quite hazy, with highs once again of around 4 or 5. Bye-bye.
TUI sponsors STV Weather.
And finally, are you quick with a joke and qualify for a free bus pass? Well, you may be exactly what Glasgow International Comedy Festival is looking for as it begins the hunt for the city's funniest pensioner. Knock knock, who's there? Our reporter, Vidushi Tavari.
So do you have any good jokes for me?
Just me, I'm a big joke.
Margaret joins people from across Glasgow every day at this lunch club. On the menu today, comedy.
Why did the golfer wear 2 pairs of pants?
I don't know why.
Because there was a hole in one.
What do you call a magic dog?
I don't know, Christine.
A labracadabra dog.
Around 1 in 10 older people in Scotland are lonely, and this course is looking to change that.
If you think about comedy, we don't often think about older people delivering comedy. They could be the butt of jokes. So I think this is a fantastic initiative. In Scotland, we're very self-deprecating. I'm very sure that people are taking part in these courses and these classes will be able to bring that to life.
Anyone can apply as long as they're retired and funny. Successful applicants will get 4 weeks of training with a professional comic. Do you think you're one of Glasgow's funniest men?
Not really, it's just the way I am. It's just my personality.
Just me. There's only one of me head in the boat, they've all been made me. I'm just me, and that's it. I'll never change.
Applications for the course close on the 23rd of February. Just remember, there's only 2 rules in comedy. Keep it simple.
Go to the man with the pills, and I've forgotten the end of it.
And don't forget the punchline. Vidushi Tavari, STV News.
Good question. What do you call a magic dog? Paul Spaniels. Now, that's not my joke. I can't take the credit. That's from our sound man Les, who's in my ear right now. But anyway, that's it from us. We're back again tomorrow. From all of us here on the team, enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.